Streaming.
Start streaming. Play a song.
Over 7,000 years ago, God gave us a libation, and now this divine beverage is brewed in every nation, on every continent,
Except one.
from far away to near. Humanity can all agree we love this thing called beer! There's Budweiser from St. Louis,
Leaning out OPA.
Coors in Colorado,
We even left the USA. Lamont up in Canada, the land of ice and snow. You don't even need a cooler when it's 40 below.
Dos Equis down in Mexico, or Corona with a lime. It's such a shame, so many beers, so very little time. From Brazil to Argentina,
From Peru or Ecuador. Todos hechos su cerveza. They grant some more.
or fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
What about the Middle East?
Well, that's where it all began. They say the first beer was brewed in modern day Iran, or Lebanon, or Jordan. Well, hey, they make beer too.
Don't forget Gold Star in Israel. Who knew the Jews couldn't brew?
Oy vey.
Tooheys in Australia.
Or maybe Carlton Draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies,
And you'll end up on your wall.
Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday,
So this one is for you.
one by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
There's beer from Scandinavia.
Belgium, France, and Spain.
So raise your glass bottoms up and fill them up again.
That's it.
England,
Guinness,
Ireland.
Tennant's from the Scots.
Fine Stephens even Weiss beer?
Reinheitsgebot! Czech Republic, Poland, Russia.
China to the east. They all make delicious beers with barley, hops, and yeast.
Don't have yourself a big name brew.
Or better, brew your own.
But enjoy that beer, cause one thing's clear.
You ain't driving home! Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink 'em all!
Drink!
Cheers!
Cheers! Drink! So original. Cheers!
Slancha!
Slancha! Not Ireland! Slancha from Ireland!
That's right. May the devil know you're not dead. Oh, why I screwed that one up.
But it's hard for a German to be an Irish guy.
That's right. So, we'll just pay homage to Germany and say, Prost!
Roast! And may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're there.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Come by!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan, Nostrovia, which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud! Both Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy.
Chin-chin.
Majabule!
Alright, there we go.
That's it, man.
Okay, that's. They can hear us now.
Yes.
Because I got it set up right. Yeah, right. I hope I got it set up right. All right, welcome to another exciting episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters. I'm Jamie.
I am the Steve.
We are just two guys who like beer.
Think you should too.
Yes. Oh, we're from the Pacific Northwest. Actually, we're not.
Or not, we just live there.
This is where we are now. Neither one of us is from the Pacific Northwest.
No. I'm from the Southwest.
Yeah, you would be called Southwest. I don't know where I'm from.
Where were you born?
Connecticut?
You're a nor'easter.
No. I left Connecticut when I was 3. I am not from Connecticut. From Montana. Is Montana the Midwest or the West?
I think it's more west.
I'm from the West, which sounds so much more
I think
romantic.
you're more west.
I'm from the West.
If you look at the continental divide, you know, most of Montana, I believe, is west of the continental divide.
Actually, most of it's east.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
The
I stand
continental
corrected.
divide kind of goes down the western third.
I guess you're Midwest then.
But I lived on the other side of the continental divide.
Then
also.
you're west.
I am all things.
We are having an identity crisis here.
I can say like
And I don't know my geography.
one of my favorite YouTube reels, Eagle Blackbird. Aho. Quick, play some Indian flute. Suck at it. Anyways. Alright, so if you follow Facebook, if you're on Facebook at all, or I think he's probably on Instagram and YouTube and anyways. The guy's name is Eagle Blackbird. He's an Indian. Big into the native stuff, right? And he is hilarious because, you know, I mean, he's very, if you see someone who's more serious stuff, he's very pro-native, indigenous type stuff. You know?
Right.
In fact, he prefers the term indigenous to native, you know, that sort of stuff. But he makes some fun stuff. He's got this white buddy, and they got one teaching my white friend to be native and stuff. And they had one where there's this guy said, it was the white guy, but he took off his glasses. The white guy wears glasses. Well, he takes off his glasses to play a different character. And he goes, "What's your names?" And Eagle Blackbird. The guy's name is Eagle Blackbird.
Sure,
That's
sure.
his name, right? So he says, "My name blows through the pine. My name buried on the air. My name," he says like 4 or 5 more. I don't know. "You can call me Sacred Eagle Feather." I was like, "Oh," the white guy with no guy. Okay. "Oh, what's your name?" Back to the other guy. So it's Eagle Blackbird and the white guy standing there. Got his glasses on, so he's a different guy
Different
now,
character
right?
now, yeah.
Right? "What's my name?" "Young Casper." Pans back, and they both go, "Oh." And then they have the stereotypical Hollywood native flute music. It says it right in the text.
Right.
Native flute music. You know, and whenever they say that, "aho," it's always echoey.
Oh.
And it's like, he's making huge fun of the stereotypical 1950s Indians.
Right.
You know, they always spoke in that really weird accent that
How
no
white
Indian ever
man.
spoke in.
Yeah, no Indian ever spoke that way.
Ever in their life. Although, I will tell you, there is a Native American accent. Absolutely.
No, you're right.
I
I know what
mean,
you're talking about. There is an accent, yeah.
You know?
I can't replicate it, but I can hear it. I know
Right.
what you're talking about.
it's the same with black people, and
Yeah.
it's the same with Latino people. I've just noticed, I mean, maybe it's just because those groups, they're culturally stronger. Like, you know, you'll have a black neighborhood. I've not noticed it nearly as much with Asians, except for Asians who are immigrants, who still have the thick Chinese
Right,
accent
right.
or Japanese accent. But like a Chinese person that was born in the United States, or like a Korean, like Henry Cho.
Right.
That's another guy to look up.
The guy from Tennessee.
Yeah, Henry Cho, hilarious
Yeah.
comedian. He's from Tennessee, no accent. He sounds like he's from Tennessee.
Sounds like Elvis. You
Right.
know?
But you can actually hear it. You know, and you're not always right. You know, it's not
No.
a 100%.
Right.
But you know, you talk with someone on the phone, customer service, talk about 3 minutes, like, you're a Latina, I can tell.
Right.
You just hear
There's
those
just certain
little things.
inflections and certain
Yeah.
vocal patterns that kind of just go with that culture, you know.
However, all that said, the Hollywood Indian accent, no.
Bogus. Yeah.
No, they don't speak like that. I know. I grew up in Montana. I grew up on a couple reservations even. So I'm familiar with Native Americans, indigenous, if you like. That is one I don't mind saying. You know, it's like, hey, you want me called indigenous? Sure. Doesn't bother me.
Right.
You know. But in any case, young Casper, and then it flips back over. wait, is he young Casper because he's, and they cut it and they both go, oh.
And then cue the
Yeah.
music.
Cue the flute music. Anyways, Eagle Blackbird, follow him. He's hilarious. I really like his stuff. And that was if Eagle Blackbird wants to sponsor us, good on him.
I'm not gonna count on it, but
Yeah, me
Cool.
neither. He probably will never see.
No.
Although I got a top participation or engagement trophy from Facebook. Woohoo! Those things is like, this is the dumbest notification ever. I mean,
yeah.
there are people that probably get excited about that. It's like, oh man. You need to, as the current trendy saying is, go touch grass. You really do. Anyway, so today I'm making a Temptation Ale. This is a kit from our friends down at Northwest Brewers Supply, Reed and Ben, and it is a very pale to light gold, delicately balanced Kölsch style ale with hints of hop flavor and aroma. I forget, Kölsch actually came around as kind of a marketing thing. The Bavarians who were they were struggling under the Reinheitsgebot and stuff.
Right.
They're like, look, man, our beer is not selling
This is
because
good.
it's like, and so they kind of, Kölsch came into existence. I'd have to look it up a lot more to really get into it. But anyhow, it's kind of lagery actually. It's really light, easy drinker, not a high ABV. ABV is around 5. So steeping crystals is half a pound of Crystal 10, half a pound of Cara Pills. So it's very light colored, lighter than this.
I can't see that.
Yeah, they could probably see. We can walk up here. Oh, let's do this. Lighter than this. We should probably go to the other camera so we can monitor our actual movements faster.
Yeah.
But in any case, so we got 6.6 pounds of Pilsen liquid malt extract, liquid LME, the gooey syrup that we pour into our stuff. The hops are 1 ounce of Hallertau, and we add that at the 0-minute or the 60-minute mark. Then at half an hour, we add half an ounce of Tetnong, and then the other half an ounce of Tetnong at the 0-minute mark.
All right. Tetnong?
Tetnong, Tettnang, Tetnong. Tetnong.
Not familiar with that one.
Never mind.
I remember that.
But it's in your refrigerator right now, so we can look at it. Why yeast is 256 Kölsch, 56 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a cold brewer. But I have my fermenter kegerator set at 4, so that's right in there. Bottling primer, we don't bottle, although I have been bottling. We can talk about that later. And then everything is the same. 3 gallons of water, 150 for half an hour. I accidentally put this all the way to 170, and then it, so I turned my flame off, and we are now with 7 minutes left on the steep, finally reaching 150 degrees. So we'll see how this
It'll
goes.
be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be
So,
fine.
Don't squeeze the bag, because
Bad
yeah.
things.
squeezing bags is never good. Then we add all the extracts, and then bring it to a boil, add the Hallertau. At the half-hour mark, add half of the Tetnong. At the 0 mark, add the other half of the Tetnong. Pull it off, chill it, and pitch the yeast, and bam, we are making beer.
For me, I'm going to watch and supervise. I'm going to drink beer and know things.
He's already failed in his supervisory capacity, which is sad because Steve is a really good supervisor because I tend to blah, 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 and I forget. But notice how often I'm checking my little timer. See? Ooh, let's check it again. Ooh, and again. See, I'm getting good at this. That's Steve's job. Steve's the brewer. I don't know what I am. I bring a computer over and do this super professional broadcast thing.
Totally.
Totally.
Have you tasted the beer yet?
I have not, because we were not going to taste the beer until we went live, and so now we are live. Tell them about this beer, Steve.
So this is the IPA that I've been working on forever and a day. Now, anybody who's tuned in a few brew days ago will hear us talk about the Elusive IPA, which was the original recipe. We liked that incarnation of the recipe that we decided to call the Elusive IPA, and we took a snapshot of that and moved it off to the side, and then I took that same baseline recipe, made some more changes in my endless quest for IPA, And this is another product. We have not tasted this yet. It's been carbonated for 2 weeks. It has a nice good bubble propagation, I think.
Yeah,
Looks good to me.
Tell them about the hop schedule and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah, I changed the hop schedule. I started hopping it at 2 minutes remaining every 30 seconds, so an ounce of hops was going in, and then I did about a 5-day dry hop period on it the last week of secondary fermentation. So in the end, if this came out correct, it's supposed to have kind of that West Coast IPA style to it, but I think it's gonna be probably a little bit more bitter than it should be, which is fine.
Because
I've learned that. I've accepted the fact that I tend to make bitter beers, man.
But you make better bitter beers.
Better bitter beers.
Better beers. Better bitter beers.
What were we gonna say?
Tell them what the hops do. I don't know, how basic do we want to get?
Oh well,
Jade's here. I don't think
she's probably heard this a lot.
That's true. Okay, Jade, we're gonna skip it for you. Any of you else need to know? Drop it in the comments. Sure.
Quick version for anybody new: the hops counter the sweetness of the beer. When it's at this stage, it's very sweet, especially after the malts go in, and so the hops counter that sweetness. Depending when you put your hops in during the final boil, will determine how much sweet is retained, how bitter the beer is, how piney it is, based off the kind of hops you use, how earthy it is. So that's the quick version of what hops do. And hops add a little preservative as well. They're natural preservatives.
That's the whole genesis of the IPA.
Exactly.
They added just a whole bunch of hops to try and get it from England to India. India Pale Ale.
You know that Nigel, the commandant that was down there in India, kept sending letters back to England. He's just like, dudes, the beer keeps arriving rotten. Tastes
Really?
like bloody,
What's his name, Nigel?
I don't know. That's a very common English name, especially in.
That's true. Oh, he's Nigel now.
Nigel now.
Rewriting history as
See,
we go.
now we're being racist against England, Nigels.
You can't win anymore. Okay, so first we sniff. All right.
It doesn't have a hoppy aroma to it, but it's fine. You know what? I don't care anymore. I've learned that that's not my style.
It smells
Florally,
florally.
a little floral, yeah.
Isn't
But
that
not,
hoppy?
but not piney though.
Oh, you're going for the.
I kept trying to go for a piney one, but I guess I'm choosing the wrong house.
That's got to be it, man. It's got to be something.
But it does have a floral bouquet.
Oh my gosh.
It's a combination of Centennial and Cascade hops, where for my flavoring hops, my bittering hops for Magnum, which Magnum are very neutral. They don't impart earthy or floral or a piney. They're just
Right. The idea is
they
just
strictly just kill
make it
sugar.
better.
Yeah. And that was just 1 ounce of one of that. So anyway, I'm okay with this.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go, man.
Let's taste it.
Kind of florally.
Okay, this is good, man. This is. I don't have a very good tongue memory.
No, I'm happy with this.
It's been a while since I've tasted Elusive IPA. I've only made that once, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Made the one, it was a success, and then. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
not all IPAs have to fall into that, piney, bare boundary. You know what I mean? IPAs can be floral. They can be citrusy. This is more of a floral IPA.
One of your goals is the piney thing. So this is good.
But it's not coming out. This is going to be officially deemed finally IPA.
Finally?
I like this one.
What?
Yes, I'm happy.
Hold on, I gotta write it down.
This is finally IPA by Northwest Brewmeisters.
Right. The 28th of July at 1614, Steve finally liked the IPA he made.
I like the Elusive
Oh,
too.
now I'm taking pictures of my feet. What the heck? I hate technology.
No, I like this. It's smooth. It doesn't make you go, like some IPAs do,
It is definitely more so. I think you've definitely succeeded in that. I don't think Wendy would like this. My wife,
her style,
yeah,
I get
she's
it.
not a big IPA person at all.
Carbonation is right on. I think it's. Yeah, I think this is a success, man.
Mm-hmm. And it is more IPA-y than Elusive.
Right. I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that my signature IPAs that I'm gonna make are not gonna be piney. They're gonna be in the floral realm. I did use citra hops, dry hop. Maybe that kind of countered the.
Citra is not gonna push it pine.
Kind of countered that pininess you get from Centennial and Cascade. Yeah.
You know,
Cascade more floral.
One year in Missoula, you could not find spruce tips on any spruce tree,
right?
More than like 8 feet off the ground, because all these brewers were going up into the mountains and snipping the little spruce tips, throwing them in their beer. Personally, I think this is kind of a dumb thing to do, but hey, you do you. You're after that, but yeah. They were definitely after that piney flavor. All right, man.
That's a lighter mouthfeel than I was expecting, but I'm not complaining because lighter IPA.
No, this is very good. Well done, sir. Well done, Steve.
I will accept this one. Thank you.
I will drink this for the rest of the night. Go ahead, twist my arm. I don't have any playing going on.
Oh no. I heard the car door shutting outside. Randy's friend is back. Okay. Oh, she knows it's coming down. She doesn't hear me.
Okay, so we'll just go you up and over and into that.
There you go.
Minimal mess. Untie that. All right, so next. Trivial, interesting thing. As some of you may know who have watched, I had a disastrous beer which I refused to dump down the drain, and because of that, I've run out of kegs. So I borrowed a keg from Steve, and I filled it with beer. Then I drank all the beer, so I brought your keg back. But what I've decided is I have a whole bunch of. Hold on. Yep, good old Bree still hasn't listened to us. Tabs! Right, just somewhere in here, a tab. Be awesome. Goodbye! I'm just gonna fight this tab thing for a minute here. Come on. Off. Let go. Let go. Alright. My thumbs. I got it off. A frog in my throat. That out of there. Pour that in. No, very interesting. Lots of high level conversation going on here. I'm concentrating, all right? Leave me alone. Don't judge. Don't judge me. I can feel you judging me through the screen. Oh, stickiness. No stickiness. No, bad. But stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Any of you see Ghostbusters? You see that part where Venkman got slimed and he's got like mucus all over him? That's what I feel like here. Oh, she left it over there. You gotta walk over here and get the other thing. And once again, trying to peel this stupid foil thing off here. Should break down and just go for it with. But I'm not gonna. No. God gave me fingernails and ladle.
Oh yeah, you ladle.
Steve walks back and I send him away. Alright, there we go. There's that. That comes off. brewiness.
More gooey. Oh, hang on.
Okay, thank you.
So you're ready for it?
So, when you walked out, I was mentioning that I had a whole bunch of bottles because I was gonna bottle for a while. Not bottling, I prefer the keg, and I drink out of the keg.
Yeah.
But let's say I wanted to give my dad a 6-pack, or one of my friends at NW, or my mechanic, or anybody
Right. It makes it hard to do that.
who doesn't come to my house regularly. So I've been experiencing. You know, I just mentioned to our vast audience out there. You see Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Okay, remember the part where Beckman collects a sample of ectoplasm in a library, and he's like, ah!
Oh, yeah.
And it goes all. I feel like that right now.
Yeah. No doubt. I'll be right back again.
Time for Jamey alone.
You'll be all right.
I will. I'll be all right. I don't have enough hands. There. That'll work. This here. I gotta get up again.
Okay. I was just trying to be a good host for Brandy's friend.
Gotcha. Wait, so Brandy's friend here, but Brandy is not here?
Correct.
Oh.
She's staying here for a couple nights.
Oh!
She lives in Montana.
Oh! Wait, is her name Beth?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, that's her. She's with her son and
Is she
the little
photogenic?
daughter. I don't know.
I mean, performing on.
I don't know.
Are you sure? She might love it. Okay. I was trying to get a special guest. Failed. Can I have the lid to the other one, please?
I guess you can.
Yes?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're so accommodating.
No, Randy is grocery shopping. She should be home pretty soon.
Ah.
Whoever Riley is here, so if Riley gets downstairs, she'll entertain. Are you not entertained?
Eh.
So thinking back, man,
She's probably a modern woman. Just give her a Wi-Fi password and a phone. She'll be fine.
this beer, this Temptation Ale, the Kölsch, is the first beer kit that we brewed after I left the military and moved back up here. It was the
Yes,
first
it is.
one we did made.
This is the first one we tried.
I remember that. You're done with this a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're done with the label. That should be good. Yeah, that's good. Pour that in there. And we'll pour this in there. So, bottling. Can I tell about bottling? Alright.
Pain in the butt.
Pain
Can be.
in the patukas. Oh my gosh. So, the first time I tried bottling, I went ahead and I didn't do the bottling bucket. So when you bottle, here's the way it works. You brew your beer. You ferment your beer. You rack your beer. Then you take that beer, so you've gone into your first bucket, and then you kind of rack it, and that gets rid of all the sludge at the bottom, the trub, or trub. It looks like the word trub to me.
Looks like Trub, yeah.
But anyways, that sludge at the bottom, you take the liquid off the top of that and put it into your next bucket. And then you let it condition a little bit more. And when you bottle, what you do is then you go into another bucket, your bottling bucket. At this point, suspended in the beer is still quite a bit of yeast. So you add priming sugar, which is, that's the last ingredient on here, 5 ounces of bottling primer.
Right.
So you add that sugar, which basically just gives the yeast that's still floating around in your beer something to eat. And then you mix that really well in your bottling bucket, and then you fill up all your bottles, and then you cap all your bottles, and then the yeast should activate, and yeast farts out CO2, And so the CO2 pressurizes the whole bottle, and of course you have it crimp capped, and hopefully it doesn't explode. So if you put it in a closet or something, maybe a closet with a hard floor, or something else. But in any case, because beers have exploded, which is impressive that CO2 pressure can burst a glass bottle.
Even if it doesn't burst a glass bottle, sometimes when you go to pop the cap and enjoy that cold beer, you know, kind of like dropping a Mentos in a Dr. Pepper, whatever that is.
It is. It's a lot like that. I had that. My friend Brandon years and years ago. He handed me a beer that he had brewed, and it just foamed and it foamed, and I couldn't stop it. I'm like, oh. He's like, stop that, dude. Just run for the sink. It's not gonna stop till it's empty. And he was right. We put that thing in, and every ounce of liquid turned into CO2 foam and came out of that bottle.
Yeah.
It's like that's like.
Science there, you know.
The physics defies me. Can we like?
You need some flame.
Yes. Come on, baby, light my fire. I don't even like the doors. Go ahead. There we go. So, anywho, that was my first experiment, and but I didn't use that. They make these little bottling drops, which is apparently the appropriate amount of priming sugar in this like lemon drop form.
Oh yeah, I got a whole bag of them out there.
Yeah, you pop it into your bottle and then you fill it up and then you go. Well, I tried it and it didn't work. So I don't know what happened.
I have these guys that I want to bottle eventually. These are the resealable bottles.
It's like 32 ounces, isn't it? Yeah, so. 1 quart. I'm reading it right on the side.
Yeah. So I could bottle a quart of this up. Might have to change the seals though. Oh, the seal feels pretty good. Drop 2 of the, because so much beer, I'd drop 2 of those little primers in there and then cap it off. Let it sit for another few weeks.
So I tried again, and this time I went down. So I jumped on YouTube University, you know, as one does when one wants to find out how to do something. And there was a guy, and then there was another one by this lady who bottles her beer, and she just uses a long tube, and you just stick it in the bottom of the bottle, and it has a little plunger valve.
Pop it on it, spoon-loaded plunger.
Which I drank, like last time I bottled. I don't use the little plunger anymore because it kept coming off and being down in the bottle, and then I'd have to pour the bottle into a glass. So 4 beers later, I was feeling pretty good, but I stopped using the poppet because I had to drink all that beer. Anyhow, stupid messy, and all I'm trying to get is just that each beer is about the same amount, and I would love to get beer all the way up the neck of the bottle. No, not happening. Too much foam. So everything's to the shoulder instead of all the way up the neck. Which, if you look at a professional beer bottle, it's all the way up the neck.
Yeah.
There's only like an inch of head space. But I will tell you, I've had good success. I figured out the trick with the capper that I use, the double handle. They're called an Emily capper. Got 2 handles and you kind of push down, and there's a cap in the middle that crimps the bottle cap around it. I don't like it. Bottling is not my thing, but I still not have enough kegs. So this will all change after my Russian Imperial Stout, which is in the secondary, because I'm going to start using up that peanut butter stout. I'm going to mix it all together, and it's going to be amazing and delicious. I've already been drinking the peanut butter stout, so I have no idea how much is left.
Yeah, you were mixing it with other stuff that kind of diluted out.
Yeah, and it was good. You know, blended beers aren't good. I had a blended beer at the restaurant the other day. It was a Harp Lager and a Guinness.
Oh, yeah, I've heard they call that, but I know what you're talking about.
You know, they called it a half and half down there. Half and half, okay. And it was good. It was definitely okay. But
yeah, I think I've had half and half before. Not at the restaurant, but other places. I can't remember if it was Guinness and Harps or what I had was actually a Guinness mixed with Labatt, I think.
Really?
No, not Labatt. No, it's English ale.
Bass?
Bass, yeah.
Okay, that was just a guess, right?
Yeah. It was Bass ale. Yeah, it was Guinness and Bass ale. There was a name. I think a Black and Tan is it called.
Yeah, it's
black and
dark
tan.
on top and
Yeah,
light
'cause
on the bottom.
Because if you do it right, you pour it over a spoon and it kind of softens whichever one goes on top. I'm guessing the Basso's on top, and the beers actually stay separate in the glass until you start drinking it, of course.
Right.
You know.
I also noticed that they carbonate with nitrogen for sure.
Yeah, that's why again it's so super foamy. You can draw on it and make designs.
Well, not just, but all the beers they served us, because
They were. Oh, everything was.
Wendy had a
Huh.
Kilkenny Ale or something.
Red ale probably.
Yeah, but yeah, you could just tell by just the head and just the taste of it. It was really, it's really creamy type deal.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
probably
a
just.
fan of Guinness, man.
I know you're not a fan of Guinness. I'm not a huge fan of
I
Guinness
like
either.
stouts, but just not Guinness stout. You know.
Although it might be. Well, the thing is that it just might not be your cool thing. Like if someone handed me a Guinness,
Yeah,
I would
drink
drink
it.
the Guinness.
Yeah, I wouldn't be rude.
not like a goose, where it's like, would you like this goes? It's like, no, I only drink beer.
It's not
like,
beer.
but it's beer. No,
No, that's not
not.
beer. Yeah, the
We
goes,
had it
goes. Yeah, I would have to politely decline that one. But a Guinness, I will happily accept the Guinness. It's just not my preferred stout.
Oh, we're getting cool wormies. Maybe you can see them in spot cam. Come here, pot cam, without jerking the whole machine off the.
That would make for a pretty day.
It would. I would probably be upset. We're gonna switch real quick.
Cam.
Tab not working. Thank you. There we go.
There we go.
If you look close enough, you can see the little wormies. It's one of my favorite parts. It's the hot break. It is actually the hot break happening as we speak. I love the hot break. It is so cool. At least when it's an active, really visible hot break.
Right.
So anyhow, yeah, foam everywhere. I don't know. I have a very clean kegerator on the outside now, not so much on the inside because I didn't feel like. So there's a lot of beer inside the kegerator. I gotta clean my kegerator now. It just was a disaster. So the next time I went down there with a tub,
Right.
and I just put all the bottles in it and said, "Hell with it," and I let them fill up and overflow, and then I wiped them down and cleaned it off after I was done.
I think when you're going to use that bottling stick, whatever, with the the little plunger on it, I think you want it to be through gravity. Like a lot of people will put the bottles on they won't use pressure, use gravity. We'll put the bottles like on the floor, and then just let it siphon through with gravity, and you don't get that foam going in there. You know what I mean?
Well, you know how one of your regulators seems to have this little surge kick?
Yeah.
And that first beer that we pour out of it is always really foamy. I appreciate the fact that you always pour your beer first so that you have 6 inches of foam and 2 inches of beer. And I get like 8 inches of beer and just a little thin film of foam. It's very nice of you. You're a good friend. Good friend.
Good looking out.
Can you see the wormies? Tell me if you can see the wormies. Nobody's watching. Only Jade's there. Ow, that spoon is hot. Wow. Ouch. That was painful. Let's pick it up. I don't know what to do. Here, let's just put it right here. That'll be better. I don't know if it'll be better or not. All I know is that bugger was hot.
Yeah, man. Metal conducts heat.
Thank you,
You're all weak.
Steve the Science Guy.
Bill Nye ain't got
Nothing on you. I love the little wormies. Definitely my favorite part. So anyways, I bottled most of them up. I've got a stout in. No wait, my breakfast ale is in the keg right now.
Is that your Stalin stout? Is that like Rasmussen's old special or something? What is that stout, man?
It's just First Russian Imperial Stout. You know I'm not very good with the names.
No, I know.
I can name your beers.
I was being facetious. I didn't know did you do just a standard Russian Imperial?
Yeah, so the one I did the last 2 times was just the standard Russian Imperial Stout because I'm making something to cut peanut butter with.
Stout. Kind of gotta cut the stout with a stout, Goes a little better that way.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Old Rasputin number 7. What do we got here, man?
You're really
really got the hot break going now.
You gotta admit that looks cool.
Definitely active.
I mean, if I was gonna drink it right now, I'd be like, that's kind of grody. It's got chunkies all in it.
Chewing on it. That's a good hot reg. This way it's all organic, you know. All those little grain particulates are excited.
Very excited. So excited. So anyhow,
I can boil.
I got that all bottled up. I got 1 keg, and I've got. Oh no, I'm gonna have to bottle some more beer. And then, I probably should just buy another keg. But,
Just use that one again, man.
yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna take that back home with me. I brought it here so you could see it. Visitation rights.
Your cake says hi.
Keg says hi. So anyhow, that's happening. But yeah, I have decided I'm not a big bottling fan. It's just a pain in the butt. I'm gonna go ahead and move this before I clothesline myself on that cord.
Yeah, because these IPA, it's going to be a little stronger than what we usually drink.
I'm immune.
So.
I'm like Wesley in Princess Bride. Iocane powder. Spent the past several years building up a resistance to it. Whatever he said there.
Now I remember the scene. Inconceivable.
Keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. That was a great movie. That was another one of those movies. It was like Star Wars, Grease, Princess Bride, several of them out there that were like, they were just a movie when they really started.
Right.
Especially Star Wars. Star Wars was a budget flick. Nobody expected Star Wars to go where it was. And then Disney got jealous and decided to destroy it.
Totally.
Alright, on to other things. Bottling's a messy process and I don't like doing it.
You've never bottled. One day.
You have these nice bottles.
I know.
Try it. I need to get my hops. Oh, somebody has joined us. Hello, stranger, who we don't see. Thank you for joining us. You may comment, or you may not comment. It's up to you. We don't believe in forcing people to do anything they don't want to do.
Right.
Unless you're standing right here, in which case we'd force you to drink a beer. We would shame you. It's like Handmaid's Tale, except for not drinking beer. Is that the whole, wasn't that the thing? The shame? Isn't that come from?
I don't know. There are multiple sets of feet walking up to
There are
my
feet
house.
walking by your house. If we have the door open, we can see the rest of them. You don't.
I need to investigate.
Alright, bye, Steve. Go look into those feet. Looking into his feet. Why are we investigating feet? I don't know. Did you bring Pop Can back out? Did you figure out the feet? Who owns the feet?
2 out of 3 children.
2 out of 3 children?
Yeah.
Steve, you only have 2 kids.
Well, I kind of adopted one.
I know that scene.
So, yeah, no, they're my kids and my pseudo kid, I guess. Not really.
Pseudo kid?
More like Brandy's pseudo kid than mine.
Gotcha. But a child that is very often at your house, I'm
Yes.
thinking, to the point where they don't knock anymore.
No, pretty much just walk right in when they need to.
So they're
Who
like,
keeps talking to me?
they're like your, so that would make it your 4th kid. Me being your 3rd.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't knock either.
No.
Actually, I do, but the door's already open and I'm already
you're,
in the
you're
house.
like you're not. You wouldn't be the child. You'd be the brother. That doesn't have to knock to come in the house. Kind of thing.
Although I still think it's nice to knock.
No, it's just a. Yeah. To me, it's just not being rude.
I definitely am never going to show up on randomly a
Like
Tuesday
knocking
evening
first and
at
then-
8 o'clock and knock the door, knock
Oh.
and open without announcing
Oh,
myself.
right.
For one thing, I have no desire to catch a bullet. Ever.
Not ever. Yeah. Ever.
Ever.
Now, if I ever
And
had to
that's,
show
a
up,
good, that's a good way to catch a bullet.
if I ever had to show up at your house unannounced, I wouldn't just walk in. There'd have to be a really good reason. Like there was an emergency or something. You know what I mean? I would never just show up and be like, "Hey, want to drink some beer?" Couldn't text first,
Well, and that's the thing, is that with modern tech, back in 1985,
Oh yeah.
that happened occasionally, you know, people show up unannounced.
Right.
It's like, well, I was in the area, I thought I'd pop by and knock, and
All right.
oh, we weren't really expecting company, we're not kind of ready for it. Oh, okay, well, I guess I'll see you later. Or, awkward silence.
Right.
I said we're not expecting company. Oh,
Oh.
well, can I come in? What part of we're not expecting company did you...
We're not receiving company right now.
It's like, yeah, but we're buds. Go away!
Tomorrow, man. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Just like, no, I'm not. You can't come in the house. Why? Meth lab. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Meth lab. You don't have the right PPE. You're dressed in boxers and a wife beater and nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meth lab. Or maybe something else that I don't want you to share in and you're interrupting. Jerk. Go away.
Someone here? Nope.
I do not know. Oh, we're getting the little simmeries.
Yeah, you got the foam going now. It's getting close to boil.
Ah, cool.
It's on that
It's
chemical science verge thing, you know?
yes, the chemical is like brewing beer. It's not science, but it's science. Oh, there we go. And we're not gonna boil over.
No boilovers. No, no.
So we've had adventures with boilovers in the past, and usually it's Steve, because his burner is temperamental, like twitchy. But the last two boilovers have been me, because I was blah 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 to the camera to all the people who are not watching us. Yeah 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 yeah, and then beer all over the floor.
To his credit, he does mop the garage. I mean, I never thought,
I've never mopped a
I
garage.
never
so
thought I'd
much
hear
as
myself
when
say you mop the garage. Yeah.
Steve does have
My
a very
garage
clean
gets mopped.
floor. Almost under control.
Oh. Yeah, it's a little touchy. It's
Oh,
like,
oh, 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 no, calm, calm. It's okay. It's okay, baby. You'll be all right. A little less. A lot. Trying to escape. Trying to
it
escape.
smells like honey.
It kind of does. This is. It's refusing to calm down.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Welcome to Middle Eastern Holy Beer.
Our spiritual brew session.
Ultra spiritual beer with Steve and Jamey. Remember when PJ Stearns used to do ultra spiritual life? Man, those were funny.
Right?
And then he went wacko. I mean, he didn't get wacko, but I think he ran out of ultra spiritual things to make fun of, and he kind of just jumped on the right wing bandwagon.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. It's kind of like, what's that guy you follow? You used to follow Glenn, what's his face? You know, he started out doing really good
Oh yeah, like the audio engineering
stuff. And
He would
then
like teach us stuff, you know?
he just kind of ran out of stuff to talk about, and so he just
Yeah, that was rants and
started
raves on
screaming at
products.
clouds.
Yeah. I just rants and raves about Gibson products and stuff.
Which
But, you
he
know,
doesn't like Gibson.
I get it. I mean, his argument, he's just trying to. More feet.
You recognize those feet, Steve?
No, those feet were all bare. I mean, there was like someone's wearing shorts. Meaning the feet that walked up earlier had pants on.
They might be wearing capris.
No, these are probably.
All you saw was bare feet.
Well, no, there was like sandals on these feet with bare legs.
This is the oddest conversation.
It is an odd conversation. But the three sets of legs that walked up earlier were all wearing jeans. These three sets of legs are bare with like tennis shoes on.
Let's hope whatever's attached to those legs has clothing on it.
I'd be in for a rude awakening. I mean, maybe. I don't know who came. I don't know who's here now.
Yeah.
Unless they changed, maybe you know. My children do have tendencies to change in the middle of the day. It's like, why did you change clothes? Yeah, I don't like those pants anymore.
My wife could never understand. You know, when I worked at Napa, we had the blue polo thing, right? That was the uniform.
Oh yeah.
But really, in effect, it's the same as a t-shirt and jeans.
Right.
Jeans was what we wore.
Yeah.
I wore whatever shoes I wanted, right? And then that polo thing. And I would get home from work and I would just kind of go. And she's like, don't you want to change out of that? I was like, this is exactly what I wear,
Right.
minus the collar. And the collar doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah, doesn't bother me to.
Yeah, it's like, this is, I don't.
My work uniform is literally a t-shirt. I can't wear jeans at work, but the pants, you know, are like Dickies. Is what I
Like
have.
Dickies?
Yeah, work pants, you know. And then the shirt is literally a t-shirt, and we were issued a hoodie with this company logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what I wear to work. So I won't keep. I will get out of the pants because I don't like to wear the pants.
Yeah, those work pants, like Dickies or any of those, they're like a duck material or a twill type.
That I will change out of, but the shirt, I don't give a
Not
shit.
quite as comfortable as denim. Denim is
Yeah.
pretty comfortable. What do you think?
I'd rather
Pretty
put.
good?
That's a
think
good
we're
point.
good.
Yeah, I'd rather put on my denim jeans or whatever, you know, or throw some shorts on. I don't really ever wear shorts, but I do
We
periodically.
have a problem.
Yeah, we need beer.
Fix this. Hey, we'll both be right back.
So yeah, there's part of the cake again. I'm gonna put this aside, and then I'll fix the beer since we're
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Holler towel. Where are we going? Viewer number 3, you are an admirable person. Or maybe you're just like Jay. You turn us on, you support us by being there, and then you knit. Or play games. In either case, we've decided we like you. And in go the hops. No boiling over. Alright. Now we start the timer. The timer, Steve. I start the timer. Oh. Alright. 1 hour. Actually, half an hour. So, slightly deeper topic of the day. Special needs kids. And the need for discipline.
They need discipline. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
What's the context of the topic?
well, the context is something that happened today.
Oh, is this the church thing we were talking about? Okay.
Yeah. So, let's be very vague, because I really don't want to call people out, but something...
Don't use names, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, but... So... Something happened today, and there's a child who has autism, like Jamey and Timo, right?
Uh-huh.
But the child's parents weren't nearly as hard on her as they were as Wendy and I were on the boys. But I don't mean hard like mean, but like as strict. And they tend to do what I call hide behind the diagnosis.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We've actually had similar conversations, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, well, so today this kiddo discovered a piano. He was playing the piano. It was very, very loud. Nobody could talk in the entire pub. This was not during service.
But it was obnoxious, right? The noise,
Mm-hmm.
the playing.
And, you know, the parent said they really couldn't do anything because they were worried about people getting hurt. Well, so you've heard of retard strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know, it's an ugly term, but it's
I know
pretty
what you
accurate.
mean, right.
It's pretty accurate. It's
It's
like
just-
let's not get all tied up in, oh my goodness, I'm so offended. If you're offended, you gotta thicken up your skin. I'm sorry, man. Life is hard. So retard strength is a real thing, and part of it is because when those kids lose control, they're not cognizant of their own damage,
Right.
right? In fact, there are quote unquote normal people who go into that mode. They're so enraged, they're so out of control emotionally that they will go to the point where they injure themselves trying to do something. Well,
Yeah.
shoot.
I've heard of people breaking handcuffs, but it broke their wrist at the same time. You know.
I've heard of guys punching things and breaking their arms. I've never broken my hand, but I've definitely hurt myself.
Yeah. I've definitely. I might have.
Punched a few things you shouldn't have punched.
It was like, that hurt.
Yeah. However, we instantly calmed right down. Bam!
Oh, humble pie. That was dumb.
Oh, that was dumb.
That was dumb.
But with kids, kids who are mentally not the same,
Right.
Special needs kids, they can lose control, and then I don't know if they don't feel it. I know in Jaime's case, because he loves proprioceptive input so much, he probably doesn't feel it the same. I don't think Jaime feels pain the same way that the rest of us do. Because that kid, he loves it when I punch him, and it's not like I rear back and give him a big old haymaker, but, I was just like pop, 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 pop. And I'm giving him a pretty good shot, and he's just like more, and then I'll stop and he'll turn so I can do the other shoulder. He likes it. And
Maybe it feels like a massage him or something.
Yeah, but when your body takes input like that, then your threshold for pain might be right up at the damage level.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so retard
Like,
strength.
you're hurting yourself.
So it's a real thing. And the thing is, though, is that it doesn't make them stronger. It just means that they'll push harder.
Right.
And so this kiddo is...
Were they afraid if they stopped him, he was going to, go
Right.
a mode?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was going to, lash out, or they were going to thrash their head or kick.
Oh, I see.
And I...
One of those ones where you're supposed to kind of...
Which is exactly...
right?
Yeah, you come up from behind them, wrap up their arms. I mean, once you got someone behind... I mean, now if they have exceptional martial arts skills, they might get out of it.
Yeah.
But the truth is, size matters.
Right.
There was one of the Expendables. I love the way that when Jet Li fought Dolph Lundgren, the way he won was he backed under a staircase where Dolph Lundgren couldn't move.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, no matter how amazing Jet Li is, if Dolph Lundgren got a hold of him,
It would have been done.
it was done.
Yeah.
1,000 wrist locks and Dolph Lundgren would just...
Yeah.
It's like, you can't... I mean, size matters in physical contests like that.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's the same with this girl. Now, the parent on this, however, was not big enough to really compete, with this child. And so I get it. And the problem is like, I could take care of this right now. I'm not afraid of this person. I'm not afraid of the kid. I'm not afraid of their autism. I have 2 boys with autism. I will wrap them up and not let them do what they're doing. But eventually I gotta let them go.
Yeah.
And they go out, and then the parent gets to deal with them. And it's like, oh, that's not going to be good either. So it's very frustrating to me because my kids have autism. And they had all the potential to be the same way, but they didn't. And it's just, I can just see, there's nothing that can be done about it now. Well, maybe there is. I mean, all you have to do is make the consequence for the behavior significantly less pleasant than the reward for the behavior. Right. So when we were first going to church, Jaime would be very loud and inappropriate. And the church was very kind, and they would, I'd have dads and moms saying, it's okay, it's all right. And I'm like, thank you very much for the grace. I'm going to go beat my child now. I didn't beat my child. Don't call CPS. It's too late. I said nothing. You can't prove it. It's a story. It's just story time.
Yeah, you're an adult now.
That's right. So we can beat him. We'll both go to jail. Anyways, but I did certainly pick him up by the back of the neck. I mean, hard enough that his feet were kind of tap-toeing.
We're out of here.
Yep. And we would roll right down the church. We'd go out on the porch, and I would put his nose up against the wall. And I didn't enjoy it either because it was 35, 40 degrees, and I'm in shirt sleeves like this, just a nice shirt. We're sitting out there freezing, and I'm like, nope, we're not going back in until you stop making noise. But the point is, I made the result of being noisy in church significantly less pleasant than simply being quiet in church.
Learn that, yeah.
Yes, and now I can let him stand wherever he wants, which is always with his brother. He loves his brother, but they don't have to stand right next to me. because I don't have to control him because I can hear him start to make noise.
Little thing called discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that world.
And from across the sanctuary, if he's making too much noise, I can literally just like do a short whistle through my teeth. That much.
Yeah.
Which other parents have recognized at this point, and they chuckle about it.
Like,
But
I know
seriously,
what that means.
and he snaps his head around. I don't even have to do this. I just tilt my head. Really? And he's like,
Oh.
it's like, you don't gotta be silent, kiddo. I realize you always have a script running in your head. But if Dad can hear you from 20 feet away, you're too loud.
Right.
You know? But it frustrates me. And it's sad. The thing is that it is sad because I don't think anyone's gonna change. And that means that this kiddo's future is an institution.
You did set your timer, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
51 minutes left, so we got lots of time. But there's something, it really frustrated me because it's like, fix this. This is fixable. But you have to stop being afraid of your child.
Yeah.
And saying you have to call 911. No, you don't. Look, we'll go down to the local hardware store or the farm. We'll buy a couple of Carhartt belts, right? Sneak up, zip, zip, and they can't move. Put them in their seatbelt them in, let them scream.
Right.
Eventually, they will run out of energy. I'm telling you. I once let Timo go. Timo threw the most amazing temper tantrum ever when he was like 4 or 5, I forget. 45 solid minutes of screaming.
Jeez. What do you want?
He wanted to not wear the life jacket.
Oh.
But he needed to wear the life jacket because half an hour prior, or actually the day prior, we were going fishing, he'd fallen into the lake and I had to jump in and save him.
Ah, okay.
It's like, no, kiddo, you have to wear the life jacket. I don't want to wear the life jacket. Temper tantrum. And I just let him go. And I'm fishing. And he's screaming and screaming and screaming. And then he just got quiet. And I looked and he had passed out. No energy left. Done. Just burned out. And spent another few hours fishing. Picked him up. Put him in the car. He was fine. He's still fine. And it's hard. The thing is, it is very hard. You know, if you have special needs kids, you know, no matter what they are, discipline is twice as important as if they're normal kids. Twice as important. But yeah, you can never say she has autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, whatever. Pick your diagnosis. You can never say they have this, therefore we just let that go. It's like, no behaviors go away. Smash it.
Yep.
Because particularly in autism's case where the social cues, they don't pick up on that stuff. So I always talk about inappropriate touching, like touching boobies, right? Which this is a guy thing. We like touching boobies. Boobies are cool.
Yeah. Please. Boobies.
Yes, boobies. So 2-year-olds like touching boobies. And it's cute. And we laugh about it. Ha ha ha, he touched my boobies, right? 6-year-olds do it too.
Like,
no, sweetie. 16-year-olds do it. Okay, now
I'm calling the police.
Right?
Yeah.
22-year-olds do it. Now you go to jail and your name gets on a registry.
Yeah.
Same behavior.
Now you're a sex offender.
Yes, same behavior all the way through.
Right.
Nothing changed. We're touching boobs. But the same behavior all the way through. Now here's the difference, right? You and I were 2. Well, I don't remember, but I'm sure I did it. Right? It was just whatever. Uncontrolled hands, right? We didn't know. And we were 6.
We were discovering. Yeah.
Right. 6, probably much the same thing. 16, well, we probably didn't do it because we knew the ramifications. But we also knew why we...
Not the strangers, at least.
Oh, right. I mean, yeah. All right. But we also knew... Derailed! But we also knew why we wanted to do it, right? And at age 22 and all the way up to now, right? With our wives.
Definitely
we know why we want to do it, and it's not because we're exploring.
No.
Right? So, our brains, there's a whole different context for, we can call it inappropriate touching if you want to be polite about it, right? But for an autistic kid who has delayed development, you know, sure, he's in the body of a 22-year-old.
Right, but his mind's not.
But his mind might only be 7 or 8.
Right.
It's like, but how can you tell? You know, I mean, particularly in the physical moment, I mean, we're talking physical danger here, right? Because it doesn't matter how old the mind is, you're
Right.
looking at a 22-year-old man.
You see
That
a
is a
22-year-old
powerful
man.
creature,
Yeah.
right?
Excuse me. Yeah. You see a man, you know.
Yeah, and you have to go with the concept of a man because physically, all the power of a man is there. The upper body strength, the ability to hurt is there. And so all that wrapped back around, special needs kids, the need for discipline is elevated. It is not decreased. You never get to say they have X, therefore we let this behavior slide. Nope. Never. Never. It is even more important because a normal kiddo, society will slap them back into gear most of the time. There are some that just refuse, and you know, you can't save everyone. You know.
No.
So, anyways, quasi deep subject of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really frustrated me because I think this poor little girl is lost, and it's just not good. I mean, I'm as cold and callous as the next guy, but even I have a heart.
No, I get it. I can't say I relate, but I can understand your frame of reference and all that stuff. You know, I get it. I understand why you would say that. You know.
Well, you know, I mean, just anytime. I mean, you've seen scenarios where you're like, you know, that kid is not in a good spot, and it's the parents' fault.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I get life happens, but you know, to an extent, I am a cold and callous individual.
Well, I've seen enough video evidence of kids that were obviously never disciplined either. You know.
Yeah, well, just normal kids.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right?
Just a regular, what would be I don't know how can you define normal, but you know what I mean. Just typical kid, I guess.
You know, that's
It's like you never got told no, did you? You know.
You know, as an aside, that is something that we need to stop stumbling over. What is normal? I mean, at this point, my reaction is this. Come on.
Everything around you.
You know what normal is,
Yeah.
right? I mean, sure, there's kind of a range, right? You know, you and I are different levels of normal. But there's this range of behaviors.
Normal's got a huge spectrum in it, man. You know.
Right. Well, I don't think it's quite as huge as that. I mean, it's a spectrum for sure, but it's just normal behaviors. And then there are people that are outside normal, and it's like when you start getting caught up in the well, what is normal? It's like stop. Now you are preventing yourself from doing anything, right? It's like that person needs help, but we can't help them. Do you know why?
Because we think they're normal.
Because we've ultra defined things to the point where they don't need help, even though they clearly need help. It's like, look at them. Their teeth are rotten. Their hair is nasty. You know, they've got sores because they haven't showered in a while.
That's not normal.
This is not normal stuff, but because we're so afraid of saying that someone is abnormal, that their behavior is outside the normal range, we're so afraid of it. It's like, no, stop it. There is this concept of a reasonable man thing, you know, or woman. No, there are no reasonable women. Let's think about this. So you, Jade, go ahead, fire back. But you know what I mean, right? I mean, you really can. We get so caught up in this, and I think
that's the political correctness thing.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
so who cares?
yeah, it's like, well, you know, actually, I care.
No, I know. I'm not being facetious, but
no, I get what you're saying.
Excessive PC is just ridiculous, man. Yeah.
Well, it hurts us. You can't move forward. Excuse me. That's good beer.
So good, you wanted to breathe it.
I did. I wanted to fill my chest cavity, lungs, gut, intestines, everywhere. But it is, you know, it's frustrating because we get so caught up in that suddenly we're frozen by worrying about this. It's like, no, there is, I mean, and it's actually quantifiable. You could quantify it. It would take a lot of sub-samples and stuff, a lot of studies.
After this discussion, I gotta go move some things around.
Okay.
We get done with this discussion.
Well, we're kind of done. I mean,
I need to put water.
I've run out of rant.
I need to dump the water from my carb away into the bucket where the water lock and the funnel so far, so we can start.
Right.
My carboy will be ready for when I'll be racking the beer later this evening.
We're doing after the doing.
Doing because there's more to do after the doing.
Yes, after we do this, we have to do other
that.
things.
But again, I might just say F it and do it tomorrow. I never know. No, I have things to do tomorrow as well. Do it tonight.
No, you won't. You'll do it tonight.
It's just racking. It's not like it's hard.
Yep.
That pump works. I just hate the way that air in there. Maybe it's not every. It doesn't foam every time, but just sometimes it bugs me. I think because I can't ever get the tube to go like parallel with the edge of the inside edge of the glass cardboard. It just kind of sits in front of it, so it just hits that real quick, and
Well, it does. It aerates to a little bit by that.
And that's That's not good. You don't want it to aerate.
Nope.
You can prevent that. Really. All right. Well, I'm gonna take care of those carboys.
Okay.
Carboy, and then you have to fly solo for a second.
Aho! Like Eagle Blackbird would say. What else should we talk about? I don't know, because I always hip shot this, because we don't prepare an outline. Everything is what you see. Live, raw, unedited. I am going to get my other hops, though, because in a minute here, it'll be time to change hops. We could potentially look up what Tettnanger hops are. Oh, they're German. Use aroma, flavor, spicy, herbal. 1 ounce. I need to split this into 2 half ounces. Oh look! I'm sure my phone won't mind if I use it to. This is like cutting cocaine, but not. This is totally like cutting cocaine. I think my phone will mind, but it doesn't matter. Phone, you gotta take one for the team. Take one for the team, phone. No, little hot pellets are escaping. Escape! Spelled just like escape. Who can read? That was a good movie. Finding Nemo. Who watched Finding Nemo? Anyone watch Finding Nemo? I liked Finding Nemo. It was a good movie. Finding Dory, not so good. That was not nearly as good. That one's there. One little hot pellet. 2. 3. This would be the part where the owl bites the Tootsie Pop. But we're not really doing Tootsie Pops. Moving little hot pellets. Come on. 4. So last week, not last week, in the previous episode, which we deleted most of because I really screwed up the video bit rate, frame rate, whatever, broadcast speed. Digital broadcasting is a pain in the butt. Live streaming can be a real pain in the butt too. In any case, we went on a rant about the attempted assassination of Trump. The thing that we really talked about the most, and I was much more angry about it then, is that gentleman Corey Compertori, he died. And it just struck me as just really stupid that we were so worried about Trump, who was clearly fine. He got winged, all right? Literally, the classic Hollywood, it just grazed him. And yet, this other guy died. And that was a really big deal for me. There's lots of foul language. I went full on sailor. I'm much calmer about it now. interesting how we reacted to that. You know, and of course, anytime someone does something like that, it's a real shock to us because that wasn't just an attack against Trump, that was an attack against our system. Jeez, I'm dropping a lot of these hot pellets. Good. Not good at all. Kind of like killing cops. Same idea. It's like the death of a police officer is no more tragic than the death of anyone else in society. But the problem with the death of a police officer is that it really has this message that goes with it about this attack on the system itself. And that's, you know, it goes against not just a person, but our norms and our standards. And it's much more frightening in a way if people have no problem attacking the system. Because the system is kind of what we build our whole lives on. We go around, we go up and down the street with faith that this system lets things go, you know? I mean, it's the system is one of the things that gives women so much freedom and autonomy today. Because they have this system that prevents men, mainly bad men, from doing bad things to them. Because if you eliminated the system, now you're talking physical strength. Might makes right. And in general, I mean, there's exceptions like, who's the Mandalorian girl?
Oh, the one that got canceled like back
Yes,
in COVID?
yeah, what was her name?
Gina something.
Gina Carano,
Yeah.
right? I have a feeling Gina Carano could probably put a hurt on me. That's a pretty tough
Yeah,
girl.
wasn't she like a wrestler or something?
She was a wrestler, and she's very, very strong. You could just see it when she moves. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
that thigh could
She-
crush a coconut.
Her
It's-
way she looks like she's built, I bet she does like squats, man.
Yeah, she does a
she's
lot of
powerful.
work.
She's powerful, you know.
Right. Okay, so she's an exception.
Yeah.
So Gina Carano would be fine. However, your wife and my wife, they're kind of
They're
typical
small
women.
people. Yeah, they're small people.
And without the system, they don't go out without us.
right?
If you think about it,
Yeah.
right? But because we have this system, then they go out without us because we have this system that protects them. You know, and obviously the system fails. That's why we still have rapes and assaults against women and just assaults against weaker men and
Yeah.
violence in general because the system is not,
It's not
it
perfect.
can't protect everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the system's pretty good, but yeah, the protection level is there. So anyhow,
It's because the consequences aren't hard enough, man.
yeah, well, I agree.
You know,
I mean, I
we're,
think-
we're too soft.
But I was talking about people who kill cops.
Oh. How did that turn into a conversation about?
Because I was alone, and so I started talking about Trump's assassination. Not nearly as angrily. And
I
then,
thought we weren't going to discuss that.
well, I lied. You left me alone. You left me alone, and see what happened. No, it was calm and rational, and then that moved swiftly into the system.
Oh. Okay.
And you know how attacking a cop dying is no more tragic than any other human being dying, right? A human
Right.
being dying is a tragedy, but the cop thing, because of what the cop represents,
Right.
it makes it different.
Truth and justice in the American way.
Right. So, anyways, that was it. Now I'm done with that.
Oh, okay.
Now we should talk about something else. I got nothing, man. How's the metal world?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't kept up with it lately. I don't know the metal news right now.
Didn't you practice today?
Oh, okay, that, yeah.
Yeah,
Not my band, the band I'm in practice. Yes, we got together to practice. Normally practice Saturdays, but there were things going on Saturday where I think Charles had something going on. We couldn't get together, so we have moved it to today, and we did it in the morning. So it was okay. We're stumbling through trying to get this in-ear system figured out. What I'm referring to is the mixing part, where it's coming in balanced and even, because today we tried something different, which some of those text messages I was receiving was the bass player, he's like our sound guy. He was
Right?
mixing stuff, and he was like, it's all over the place. And like even today when we were playing, like my guitar would disappear from the in-ears, and the volume would fluctuate. I don't know, something weird was going on with that system. Before today, we were using a classic just, board, like a multi-channel, a 16-channel board, and then today Vic brought in a digital board, which is all run by software. So he had a laptop, and he's just doing it all on the laptop. But it's he brought kind of snake thing. It has it's like a big box with a bunch of XLR plugs on it, and
Yep.
stage box with
Like a breakout box type deal.
So anyway, we had all the stuff hooked up, and it sounded better today for a while. But he was recording it at the same time, and the mixes weren't coming out well. Plus, a lot of weird anomalies in the in-ear stuff, and it's not because of the frequency. This was something happening with either the mixes, or maybe there was too much input, or something just couldn't handle the workload, the load. So we've been. Point is, the last 3 days, or last 3 times we've got together, since I've had the in-ear system, we've just been having trouble getting it dialed in.
Were they like digital artifacts, do you think?
I don't even know. Things were changing. Like my guitar would disappear, and then would come back. So I'm guessing it's a digital artifact.
No. A digital artifact is like what you hear with. It's like what you hear with auto-tune or Melodyne.
No, nothing like that. Where we're getting strange effects or just weird things. No, it would just disappear like from the mix. Like it's gone.
Right.
It would be drowned out. Or it would get louder all of a sudden, uncommanded. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, that changed, and then it would go away. Or disappear, come back. It happened so many times, and Vic had mentioned his laptop was really old, and I thought, well, maybe the laptop's too old. Maybe the processor just can't keep up with what that software is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how sophisticated the software is. It's some kind of digital mixing board. You can run it off an iPad or a phone, or in this case a laptop. So it's like having a DAW, but just not a DAW,
Right.
Because all your sliders, all your buses, it's all digitally controlled. Which, looking at it, was like when I was looking at it, I'm like, this is kind of cool. It makes it really easy to patch stuff or, mix buses and things like that. It made it really easy to do all that. But my thing was the hardware capable of holding. He said it should have been fine, but I don't know. So we're just going to keep tweaking on it and trying to get it dialed in a little bit better. Because today we did something completely different. We didn't mic our amps playing through the mixing board.
What'd you do?
Zach brought in his
Quadra?
the quad Cortex.
Uh-huh.
And so we both played through the quad Cortex, and then we went direct from there. So there were you didn't hear any guitars other than just the strings going bring, the electric guitars with no amplification. That's what all you heard. The only sound that was loud in the room was the jumps because they're acoustic. Vic's bass, everything was all direct in.
How'd that work out?
Well, man, it sounded good until we had these weird just mixing issues, these weird mix issues. It sounded way better than, because before we were micing the amps.
Right.
And the drums and everything. But the problem with all that, though, is I think because that space is smaller. I mean, it's bigger than my garage, but because it's just a generally smaller space, we were getting a lot of bleed. And so it sounded like, a lot of times through the earbuds, it sounded like we were listening to everything on a broken speaker. It's like, dude, it's like, man, you need to turn down the input on the board. The board is pushing too hard, you need to turn it down. And he kept having the sliders up really high, and I'm like, you say you have the gain down, though. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Everything sounded like a broken speaker at times, But anyway, the digital system sounded way better. It was able to mix it, but then we'd have these weird anomalies, with the guitars cutting out and volumes rising out of nowhere. And
that's just part of it is just learning your gear.
That's exactly what you said.
That's just like with this stupid broadcast and
Yeah.
fighting, like last brew session where it was all screwed up because of the upload times. By the way, Steve's getting ripped off by the cable company.
Well, I don't know.
He's supposed to have all this sorts of upload, download speed.
It was the correct speed when I did my speed test in there. Not on Comcast. I went to the other speed test site, and it was spot on. But that was with my modem, and then my modem on my computer plugged in with a wire.
Right. Hardwired in.
So I was getting what I should get. And I was supposed to be up to 1200, but That's the caveat. Up to.
That's right. If everybody else in the entire neighborhood goes to sleep and shuts their computers down,
I might get 1,200.
you might get 1,200,
Right.
which, that's
Yeah.
like
So
close.
I'm
to
happy
1.2
with
gigabits.
between 6 and 8. It fluctuates always for download speeds. Upload, it's supposed to be about 33 megabits for upload.
I need to look into
Upload
the
is
package.
always slower. Always
Well,
slower.
always, unless you get business.
Yeah, well, business.
Well, and I think even then it's
You're-
slower, but it's not as dramatically slower.
But you're definitely going to pay for it, though.
Yep.
I don't know what the Comcast business costs, but you do get a static IP address. It is a little bit more. But there's different packages. Like you remember my friend Jonathan. He had Comcast business when he lived out by Mount Vernon. I forget what he said he was paying for it though, but he had good service. And because it's Comcast business, it's a business account, you get top-notch support in whatever the context of that might be. Because what I'm trying to say is, if you call the
You
business,
probably talk to an American.
yeah, you're not sent overseas to a call center overseas. You're talking to someone in the country.
Which, you know what? To be fair, in the spirit of human solidarity, some of them Indians, because they are all Indians, dot not feather, they really are. Some of them do all right.
Well, no,
I've
agree.
been helped by
To
them before.
For those folks, I mean, it's a job. They're doing their job,
And
You know?
they're alive people. Like I've asked them, where are you? Oh, I am not here. Okay, I shouldn't say that because it's all text and I mean to do the accent. All right, I'm a jerk. All right, no accent. Like,
Funny though. Sorry, we're jerks.
we're jerks. We're racist bigots. Cancel us.
And believe it or
No,
not-
don't cancel us. Keep
Believe
watching.
it or not, I've actually talked to a few support folks that were not in India.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to someone in Hong Kong before. Talked to someone in Jamaica. So,
But I've asked
there's
them.
people up.
I've asked them where are you? Well, I'm in this town.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're telling me where you're at. That's cool. And they work hard. Like really, it's like you are not scripting this. You are trying to solve my problem for you. It's like you can tell after a
My
bit.
problem is with it's not. My problem isn't talking to someone overseas or even with a little bit of a language barrier. My problem is there's no. It feels like there's no minimum level of knowledge of the system.
Right.
Everybody you get, you sometimes you get that amazing person that really knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Other times you get maybe they're new. I don't know, but they don't even. It just seems like they don't even have a minimum level of support knowledge.
They have their script, and if the script doesn't work, they're done.
And it's like, we get some standardized training here, or something.
Well, it is, and that's part of the outsourcing. It is a problem.
Well, I did phone tech support for a while before it became cool to outsource it. I worked for a company that was contracted by Microsoft. So actually, part of my script was thank you for calling Microsoft Internet Access. Of course,
Even
I was
though-
not, even though I was not a Microsoft employee.
You
That
mentioned
customer didn't know the difference, because we were supposed to play that role, because what it was is there was this 800 number on their software, and it was a tech support number. If they had problems, they would call that number, and there were at least one other, but I think two other. Where are these balloons coming from? A bunch of balloons just flew up. There were at least two other companies that were part of the same contract, and so if someone called that 800, yeah, it was like on the screen. I think it might have been one of those someone does hearts or whatever. It was like graphical balloons that went on the screen. Yeah, see, right there. Maybe it's Jay doing it, or maybe we have somebody.
What is going on?
Now that my train of thought's been broken.
Sorry.
No, I got distracted by
You're not employed by
Anyway,
Microsoft.
I did phone tech support. If someone called the number on their thing, I would, this is back when dial-up was still a thing though. I would rebuild dialers and help them with browser issues. They couldn't get connected to the internet. That was my job. It wasn't my main job. I was actually still in the Navy back then. It was a second job I did, as it was an off-duty job I did. And
that might have been my wife.
maybe. But anyway, that company eventually ended up shutting down. They had multiple contracts. They had a contract with Dell,
Right.
for customer service, like just regular customer service calls. And like I said, I was on the Microsoft contract. I started off with the dial-up support, and then I got to go do escalations, which I like because escalations let me call the customer back. Regular just dial-up people or over the floor, you couldn't call anybody back. You just could receive only.
Really?
Yeah. Escalations was when the person on the floor couldn't solve the problem. It would open a ticket, and then escalations department would call the customer back and they had unlimited time to solve the problem. So I think mainly I dealt with a lot of corporate customers at that level.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, the escalations contract went away. They said, do you want to go back to dial-up or do you want to do broadband support? I'm like, broadband? And so I started doing broadband support. People who had like satellite internet and early incarnations of cable internet. This was, mind you, this was like 2001, 2002 time frame. I think it was 2001 actually. So this was still the early days, of broadband internet and cable internet. Did that for a while, and then the company started downsizing. They were shutting down. They had multiple locations in different cities. They started closing all the different locations. I was a part-timer because, like I said, I was in the Navy. This was a second job I did when I was on shore duty.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. I don't know if they closed down because Microsoft moved their contracts overseas, to India or somewhere. But all I know is I did that job for a while. But we had training though. The point I was trying to make was there was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of training where we had to go through all this, how to do X, Y, and Z, and they made it clear. They said, look, we don't care if you know how to do certain things. You do not do anything outside what you've been trained on, because it creates that thing where, let's say I help somebody out because I know some tricks, and then they call again later that other tech may not know the same tricks I know.
Right, and then you're frustrated. You're
They're
like, well,
like,
Steve helped me.
This guy did it, yeah. And
Like,
so
why can't you do it?
yeah, my point was, there was a standardized set of training. It's like, this is what we support. This is how you solve these problems. You're not allowed to go outside these boundaries unless you're escalations. When I was in escalations, I was allowed to do everything I wanted, pretty much. But there was reason within reason though. But I could do reg edits. I could do all kinds of stuff to get their stuff working.
Reg edits. Terrifying.
Registry edits.
Yes, I know.
But yeah, you shouldn't mess with that. If you're a Windows person, you should never mess with your registry unless you know what you're doing. Because you can bork your whole system if you do something wrong.
I've come that close to it.
Yeah.
I was just
I
like,
need to delete this value, and now your computer won't boot.
it's like, here we go. Fix that, tweak that, tweak that, tweak that. My wife's just like, well, you're going to kill it. I might, but I want to shoot the thing right now,
Yeah,
so why not?
You can back up the registry too. Before you do anything, you can actually back it up.
Mm-hmm.
So. Point is, there was standardized training. Everybody was told to do X, Y, and Z, and only X, Y, and Z. And so I would like to think as that contract I was on, people got relatively the same level of support based off who you called. That you talk to someone who knows less than you. They knew at least enough to support at the same level as everybody else.
Yeah, and I guess that is a good point, because I've run into the case where I've run with the one tech support guy just did great, and then the next one not
Clueless.
so great.
Well, I dealt with that with Comcast because I have my own modem. I don't rent a modem from them.
Right.
And so I got my modem. I've done this a few times. This wasn't the first time I'd ever had my own modem. And so when you get your own cable modem, if you, let's say at first you did have a rental modem and you decide to upgrade yourself, you have to call them and tell them you want to provision your own modem. That's the keyword, provision. Hey, I got my own modem now. I need to provision my services to it. And they should know what that means, And so they say okay, and they'll ask you for some numbers on your modem, and then they'll while you're on the phone, it'll like reset a few times as it gets all the data. It's, what's called DHCP and all that stuff. It'll get all that, and then everything's good, no problem. So what kept happening? Physically my internet was working just fine, but every month I kept getting billed for the modem rental. It was like $14.99 a month, and I already turned it in. I'd already received confirmation that it had been received by Comcast.
Right.
And so I kept, for 5 months in a row, I got billed for this thing. Every time I'd call, I'd be like, hey, I'm still getting billed. Oh, sorry, sir, we got it fixed. They'd comp me back the money for that, which is fine. It took care of me. But then the next month again, and then finally on the 5th phone call, after the 5th month, I talked to somebody who knew what they were doing. They were like, oh, I see the problem. There was some stupid code that never got changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so because this one code never changed, every month when the billing would reset, it would assume I had the modem still because this code never got changed, And I told this person, I said, you are amazing. Thank you so much for understanding your job,
Well, the problem with Comcast is they do have a deceptive business model.
They do, especially,
it's
it's predatory.
Yeah, it is, because I remember one time, and I did this twice to them, right? The first time, I did it because the lady said to, and the second time
was because the lady from the first time said, well, when this happens, just do it again.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
100%. So I call up, and I'm ready to quit. I'm like, look, you jack my rates. I don't want these rates. I don't need the level of service. I'm going to look for something else. I was kind of cranky. And they said, how about we give you this? And they basically offered me the introductory rate for, you know, the
For
special...
the year, whatever it was, yeah.
Right, the special rate that they give, you know, brand new customers.
The promo rates,
right?
and all
The
that,
promo
yeah.
rates and stuff.
Which should just be the regular rates.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, fine. And then I said, but wait, what happens when the promo runs out? Out of this lady's mouth. Call us back, tell us you're gonna quit again, and we'll give it back to you. That is a freaking business model.
Yeah.
When the customer rep says, call us back, say that you're gonna drop our service, and that's what we'll do, that's their business model. And what they're hoping is people don't pay attention, which, by the way, I need to go look at.
I know, my promo
haven't
period's
paid
over. I
attention.
need to go and complain now because...
Yeah, but that is deceptive.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the whole modem thing. It's like, what we're hoping is that you don't pay close enough attention to notice that we're charging you for that modem. And that happened 5 months. That was not a mistake. That was not that was not customer service people not doing their job. That was customer service people doing their job.
They were hoping that the customer would not do their due diligence.
Right.
Wow.
So the script is,
I'm not one of those
when the
sheeple
person
that
calls
ignore
and
it.
complains, say, oh, we're very sorry, something went wrong,
Right.
we will fix it, refund the customer their money, the customer will feel better. That is the script. That is a deceptive business model. And, you know, the CEO of Comcast can come down here and I'll call him a liar to his face if he says that that's not their business model. That is 100% their business model.
Right.
And really, kneecaps need to be broken over that bullshit. Think about it.
Yeah.
We're far enough in that.
Oh, I know.
It's okay.
I've already dropped an S-bomb earlier.
Okay,
About
good.
10 minutes ago.
Have we avoided the F-bombs yet?
We have. Well, we're not all ragified. I know that's not a real word, but we're not
It's true.
ragified today.
We're not ragified today.
We're not ragified
It's
today.
a word now. If my buddy made it up, it's a word. You know what else he needs to make up? Beer. Anyways, you know.
And the problem is, you know why Comcast gets away with all that crap? Because there's very little competition.
Right. But, you know, coming into town, there's some competition.
Yeah, in fact, Comcast, I hope you're listening. My neighborhood is just about done with their Ziply fiber optic installation. So guess who's gonna get a Ziply account? And I'll keep my Comcrap account for about a month, you know, just to kind of compare the two. And then whichever one prevails will get the steak.
Yeah, well, that's what competition is all about. I mean, it really forces companies to push harder.
I don't care about television, man. I mean, my family does more than me, but...
Right. Okay, so we're going to switch to pot cam for a minute because I've got 15 minutes left on my boil. So we got to do some doing. There's some doing to be done. So... All right, here, let's press a bit different. Oh, there's the button. And we're not aimed right. Let me aim better. Here we go. There's pot cam.
Just like when you're going to the bathroom, you gotta aim better.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys.
It's the same.
Excuse me.
Now I'm just looking at a pot full of beer and it's not as near as tasty as it was 5 minutes ago.
Wait. You have the winter glass.
That's right.
Opstorm.
Upstorm. Yeah.
Opstorm. I'm gonna go inside and check on everybody. Oh, miserable. I didn't aim right.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that my wife did the balloons. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Alright, so we gotta do a few things. We'll be back in a minute. I mean, you're here. I'm still here. You can probably still hear me walking around the garage and stuff. But you're staring at a pot of beer, boiling. And I just closed the garage door and I meant to open it. I'm good at this. I am really good at this. My talent level is through the roof. Ruh-roh. What do we got here? All right, so we're changing this recipe on the fly because I totally forgot to add my hops at the 30-minute mark. So now we're adding the hops at the 10-minute mark, and that's going to change things. It's going to be a little more hoppy. Sorry, babe. That's the way it goes. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Pot cam.
So I may or may not have forgotten to add my hops at the 30-minute mark. And by may or may not, I mean I did.
When they go in?
They're supposed to go in at 30 and then 0. Now they're going to go in at 10 and 0.
Oh. So it might be a little more hoppy than you had planned, but that's fine.
A little more. I
It'll
think
be
Wendy
fine.
did the balloons.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it totally distracted me because I'm like, where are these balloons coming from?
I didn't know what you were talking about either. It's like, what?
It's all right. Yeah, I've seen like those little, I don't know what they're called, but like you can click something and it'll little hearts up or whatever, you know, or in this case balloons.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We need to write this day down.
Do we have comments?
Yes. It was my wife, and she sent an emoji. But the fact that she finally figured out how to comment is like something to really write down.
All right, well, hey, Wendy.
She's had a hard time with that. Okay, so we're going to throw these in right now.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine. I mean,
It's gonna have to be.
we're just going to do
Wait,
it.
did you say 30 minutes earlier?
It was supposed to be half an ounce at 30 and half an ounce at 0.
Oh, okay.
Now it's going to be half an ounce at 10 and half an ounce at 0.
So not even a 60-minute, not even a bittering hop? That's weird.
Well, that's the recipe.
I mean, it's still a bittering hop even at 30 minutes, but it's not as bittering as a.
Well, I did.
A hop at 60.
I did 1 ounce of Hallertau at 60.
Oh, okay. That's what I was missing because you didn't mention that. What you were saying, it sounded like it was only a 30-minute and then a 3-minute thing. I'm like, what the? Yeah.
No, it was. There was one at. There was one at 60. There was supposed to be one at 30. I missed, which is weird because I separated my hops into halves and was waiting, and I just watched the timer go right on by. I was actually looking at it at the 30-minute.
And you're just like, it didn't register.
Yep. It registered. All right, there's 30.
I need to find my glasses because the sun, the curse of my seats, the sun is coming into my
That
face.
is so weird. You know, when we get the Brudio built, which, by the way, I am going to start on this. This
Really?
is, yep.
Yeah. Mark this day.
Go ahead, write it down, punk.
I'm going to put it on the calendar, man.
I've gotten better at this.
Hey, why was I going in?
What?
Why was I going in?
I have no idea. Maybe you were just making a statement by leaving after you made a statement. It's things humans do, you know?
Oh, man, I can't remember what I was going in for. There's something I was going to grab.
I don't know. Is everything where it belongs?
Yeah. I think so.
All right.
Well,
I'm
I'll
going
get
to
the,
sterilize the
I'll
work
get the other
chiller.
stuff out. So. Yeah, I forget what I was doing.
I'm actually really glad that none of you can see this particular part of the broadcast because this is a really awkward position to be standing in. Knees slightly bent, my butt stuck out. Doesn't look good. It's not a good look on me. But it's necessary. I don't feel like holding a glass carboy and all the water in it. I can't. I'm lazy. I'm lazy, you hear me? Alright. Sterilization water in the bucket. Ah! Oh, drop that. Turn that around. Good. Don't. Find my phone, which is sitting up here. Actually, once I overtemped this phone. It was pretty bad. Let's go back to normal cam. Normal cam, ho! There we are. We'll move pot cam. Steve doesn't believe me that I'm going to build a Brudio. I'm totally building it. I'm doing it. Not lying. I'm going to build the whole thing in the basement. Right after we clean the basement. Now my wife should be laughing pretty hard. Because she knows what my basement looks like, and it's not pretty. I have a lot of stuff that I need to get rid of. That's what we spent Friday and Saturday doing. Getting rid of stuff. We reclaimed a whole room. What was interesting is really most of this room was destroyed. And this room looks great now. What was weird is we didn't actually get rid of that much stuff. What we got rid of was cardboard boxes that were not broken down and flat. And so they took up the whole room. But mainly, it was just little divisions of the air that was already in the room. The air is still in the room. But now there's no little dividers dividing it up. And you can actually walk through the room. It looks so much better. It makes me feel happy. How about you guys? Does it make you feel happy to have the room clean? Steve, does it make you happy when a room is clean?
A clean room is a happy room.
You know what's weird is you get older, so...
Oh, I was trying to go get my glasses and I totally didn't get them.
Sunglasses, and now here you are, sitting in the blinding sun.
Again.
Goodbye.
I don't know if they are, though.
Oh, well, that's a problem. Are they in the man cave?
Maybe. I think they might be in the truck.
Oh, they're in opposite directions.
Oh, I have a dilemma here.
We could kind of watch you through the window as you go to the truck.
Professional broadcast this side of the Columbia River.
Most professional broadcasts this side of the Columbia.
I'll grab my keys.
If somebody, Wendy, would be the producer, we'd be good. Just saying, you know. Not just saying, totally hinting. What else
Right,
you...
success.
Nice, doesn't have to go to the... We are so pathetic.
You know, I was going to go to the truck and I was going to put my nose up to the window behind me there and just kind of do the, you know, like a kid would.
Uh-huh.
Candy store kid. Toy store window kid.
Yeah. All those kids would be really offended if they knew how to read things.
Oh, Lord.
I know.
Well, you know, Bill did get us a flag. I just need to...
Well, we need a longer...
Well, yeah, but I was going to use
Curtain rod.
some parachute cord and just kind of... Because I have two nails on the edges of the window up there. I was just going to kind of use the parachute cord and suspend that rod he got us with our flag, you know. Would help cut the sunlight up. I mean, it only affects me during this time of the year. Once
Right.
the winter hits, it's dark by now. So
Yeah, that's true. We are fully on in dark at this point. So one thing I've gotten better in the last...
That's really hoppy now.
Huh?
I like you.
Is it getting better? Huh?
Better.
See, it gets better.
It's better.
That's the lovely thing about beer. It gets better the more you drink.
I definitely I caught the hop.
And we're not talking about in one session, because even cheap beer gets better the more you drink with that.
Yeah, eventually you just don't taste it.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons that we have a personal vow that we stop at that point.
Yeah.
We had one night where we were just staring at each other.
We're just all
drinking
hammered,
beer,
just like,
And I think it was the next day we agreed, because we hung out the next day. We were just like, no.
That was dumb.
that was dumb. Because we weren't drinking cheap. We weren't drinking Schlitz or Coors Light.
No, it was expensive.
Yeah, we were drinking good
IPA,
beer.
good beer. Yeah.
Not that we could taste it,
We reached a threshold where it was just, we were just drinking because we were drinking and having fun and partying. It wasn't really like, this is really good beer. It was just like, hey, give me a beer,
And then we ran out of stuff to talk about. We're both exhausted. It's like midnight.
We're both just like done.
And we're just like, kind of like now. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right? So, and
it's going to get kind of crazy.
in a minute and 30 seconds, we're going to have to do the wort chilling. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the song. We're going to chill the wort. Once the wort is chilled, we're going to come back. We're going to shut the broadcast down.
Chill, brah.
Chill, brah. Totally chill. Because we learned the hard way. Another thing we learned the hard way, you got to chill this stuff quick.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste time.
And pro tip, snow doesn't work.
Yeah, snow does not work. No, shoving your beer in a snowbank is not. Because it doesn't.
Anything that's snow insulated. That's what it feels like, man. In a weird, contradictory way.
No, really, like those snow caves. Mm-hmm. That's a survival thing. Build a snow cave and get one candle. It's like you're not going to be toasty warm at 73 degrees and sitting in your underwear watching TV in your snow cave.
No, but you'll survive.
But you'll be warm enough to be alive because the snow will insulate and that air pocket in there.
Right.
Again, it won't be 73 degrees, but it'll be warm enough that you won't die of hypothermia. So that's probably what happened. It melted and now there's this pocket of warm air around thing. And anyways, point being, snow does not work. And no, you can't throw snow into your beer because that's just...
You're just going to dilute it then.
Yeah, and after you've spent so much time sterilizing it, just throw snow, which all the dust and all the other stuff...
Just my luck, it would be yellow snow. There it is.
It's time! Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to kill the fire.
Kill the fire.
Fire is out.
You need a plugman.
I do. We're going to hit play. So listen to this awesome song that we wrote, and we really do. We missed our 15th of July promise, too. But there's the song.
Over 7,000 years ago, God gave us a libation. And now this divine beverage is brewed in every nation, on every continent,
Except one.
from far away to near. Humanity can all agree we love this thing called beer! There's Budweiser from St. Louis,
Leaning out OPA.
Coors in Colorado,
We even left the USA. Labatt up in Canada, the land of ice and snow. You don't even need a cooler when it's 40 below.
Dos Equis down in Mexico, or Corona with a lime. It's such a shame, so many beers, so very little time. From Brazil to Argentina,
From Peru or Ecuador. Todos hechos su cerveza. They grant some more.
or fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday,
So this one is for you.
one by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
What about the Middle East?
Well, that's where it all began. They say the first beer was brewed in modern day Iran, or Lebanon, or Jordan. Well, hey, they make beer too.
Don't forget Gold Star in Israel, who knew the Jews could brew.
Oy vey.
Tooheys in Australia.
Or maybe Carlton Draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies,
And you'll end up on your wow.
Fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday,
So this one is for you.
one by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
Germany and say, Prost!
Prost, and may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're there.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan, Nostrovia, which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud! So Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy.
Chin chin.
Riley, what am I missing here?
I have no idea. I think Kate has a song.
Oh. Nice.
Almost there. Almost there.
Alright. Give me a holla. Oh, I have some pretzel sticks if you want pretzels.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
She's still one. I need her in that run though.
Water off! Water on! Water off!
It gets broken. Someone's ass is gonna get broken. Ah.
That was when you said the beer was going to be too hoppy. Oh. The emoji
Oh.
about the beer. It'll be fine!
It's not too hoppy.
It'll be okay. 'Cause
Oh,
it's-
your beer I said might be too hoppy because
Right.
of the. No, it should be fine because those hardtail hops are lighter hop. They're not like real piney or anything, you know.
Yeah. I will buy you beer, lover. If I screwed this one up, I will buy you beer. Anyways, so the song is over. I know it's over. It's got to be over. Yeah, it's over. The little thing is over. Okay, you ready to say goodbye?
Yeah.
I'm ready to say goodbye. All right, Jade, baby, thanks for tuning in. Viewer number 3, whoever you were long ago,
Mystery
you're awesome
viewer.
too. Mystery viewer, you're all cool. Hey, we had a good time. The beer brewed well. Video thing was good. Last brew day was a disaster. We did much better today.
Yeah.
All right. I'm thinking it's time to kill it.
Okay.
So as always, relax.
Don't worry.
Have a home brew.
All right, now it's time for the herb moment. Is this working?
That's right. Somewhere here there's an
All right,
end.
man. I'm gonna start cleaning up.
Where is it? End stream. There it is.
End stream.
Yes, your stream will end. Yes, I want it to end. Oh.